Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to another episode. Today we have a good one for you. We are doing hidden storage in RVs. So if you have an RV that has a slider and a fireplace and an entertainment system like this, you have a fireplace in it, most likely you'll have a lot of extra storage behind that fireplace. So I'm going to show you how to take this apart, get in there, and utilize the extra storage that's hiding behind this fireplace right here. Join me as I jump into this adventure of making extra storage in our RV. So what my plan is here is we want this just to pull out like a drawer. So this way we can utilize all the space in the back. And all you have to do is to get into this fireplace area behind here. There's this trimming that goes around the fireplace. That just comes right up. So all you gotta do is lift up on that and it will come right up. You can get it from the bottom corner down here and just push up. And it will slide up. Pull the trimming out, and then you'll have screws holding it in on each side. Take those screws out, and this whole entire piece will come out. Let's get into this. We're going to make this a drawer that slides out, so we can utilize all the space that's behind it, and I'll show you all the space that's behind it after I pull the fireplace out. Okay, so all we're going to do is we're going to remove the screws from the fireplace, and then once you remove those screws, you just have to lift up on the fireplace, and it should slide right on out. Okay, so I just removed the fireplace from its housing in the entertainment system. And as you can see, once you remove the fireplace out, you have all of this big, beautiful storage back here. Utilize space that's just wasted. And it goes pretty deep up there too. Remove the fireplace completely if you don't need the fireplace. Looks and stuff, that's all it's basically for. It's got a little space heater in it. You can put doors on this, put a shelf in there, and utilize all that space like that and get some more cupboard space. But what we're going to do, like I said, is we do use the fireplace in the wintertime. So we're going to relocate this wire right here so that it comes on the side. And then we're going to make it so that the fireplace slides in and out. So I don't have to worry about any screws and stuff. So what I did is I went to the store, I bought some plywood, I got some heavy duty drawer guides, and there's a soft close type, so I'll show you all of that. But first what we're going to do is we're going to take some measurements in here, and then I will go outside and cut all our wood out, and then we'll build the box to put the fireplace on, and the drawer, so this way we can utilize this space. But yeah, there's a lot of space in there. Again, if you have a fireplace in pretty much any of your areas in your RV, there's most likely space behind them. A lot of space that's just not being used. So we're trying to use as much space as we can in the RV. Secret hidden storage spaces. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some measurements. First, we're going to see how much room we have to work with here. So our depth for this project is 23, almost 2 feet deep. And then our opening, so we could build our shelf, is going to be 26 and a half. We're going to end up taking all these screws out back here on the bottom. Then we're going to cut this wood flush right here on both corners, and this will be part of and then we'll mount this to the top board of our drawer, and this will slide out with the drawer, and we'll have our rails in there. We'll put each rail one right here, and it will allow us to slide this in and out, so we have easy access. Hidden compartments back here behind the fireplace. So now that we got our measurements, we're going to go outside and we're going to cut all of our pieces out. So this way we can start building this drawer. Okay, so for this project, all we're going to use is some basic hand tools. Alright, so these are the tools that we're going to be using. We got a square, we have a drill, some safety glasses, measuring tape, a saw, drawer rails, stapler, screws, because we're also going to be screwing too, and then the scale saw, plus the wood that everything is sitting on. And cut these wood out so we can start building our box so our fireplace can sit on top of that. These are the guide rails we're going to use, the drawer rails. It's a drawer set sliding, soft close. These ones are 20 inches long, and they're heavy duty, so this way when we put the load on it, it doesn't just bend and be all flexy and weak. You're going to need a saw. You can either use a table saw, or you can use a skill saw, which we're going to use here. And then we also got the plywood as well. So this is a premium plywood. It's got a nice looking finish on it, so that's what we're going to use for the inside of the drawer cabinet. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cut out a plate for the fireplace to sit on top of, and then I'm going to put a little 4-inch walls around it, so it'll be like a drawer. It'll be a drawer inset so that just rolls back and forth, so you can pull the fireplace in and out with ease. So I'm going to measure those all out, and then we'll get into cutting that all up. Okay, so we're going to start laying out our measurements so we could make our platform for our fireplace. So make sure you measure twice, cut once. Our drawer rails are 20 inches long, so we're going to make these 20, this is a 20 inch long. So we're going to go 20 and a half. So 20 and a half. And then our opening for our fireplace, we're going to make it 1 inch smaller, so we could put the sides of the wall up. So it was 26 3/4, which is right there. And then 20 and a half is right here. And 20 and a half. I apologize for the landscapers are out today. Should have known they would be out today, but you know, it's an oversight on my part. I'll try to do this fast out here so we don't have to keep hearing them the whole entire time. We can go back inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the square. We're going to line it up on our marks, and then we're going to trace out our cut. Line everything up. Use your straight edge to make your mark. We're going to do the other one so you can see the pattern that we're making. Just going to line up our marks that we already had measured out. And then we'll check our measurement one more time to make sure we're good with that. We want 25 3/4, which we have right there. And then from here to here, we want 20 and a half, which is perfect right there. 20 and a half, 20 and a half. All right, so now we're just going to cut that out. Put your safety glasses on. Get your saw. Same thing on this side. Line it up. All you got to do is use your 0 mark right here and follow this line, and that'll cut your straight line all the way through. All right, so this is going to be our bottom base, fireplace, and the drawer. And we're going to put a 4-inch guide all the way around this, so this way nothing falls off as you slide it in and out. And all I'm going to do here is make the 4-inch walls for the platform, so nothing falls out as we slide it in and out. So it's going to mark 4 inches here, 4 inches there. Use your square so you have straight lines. So we need 1, 2, 3. We need 3 of these cut out. And then just repeat that process till you have 3. All right, that's the other 2 that we need to cut out. So we're gonna cut those out real quick. And then we will start putting it all together. Okay, let's go make sure everything fits inside, and then we'll start putting it together. Okay, so we're back inside the RV now, and now we're going to unscrew those 2 screws first. Okay, now we're going to get our reciprocating saw and cut this straight right here with a straight plunge. And then we're going to do the other side as well. Perfect. So now that this is open, we're going to vacuum this up here, clean it out. We'll put our boards down for our guides. One will go right there. This bigger one will go right here. And the only reason why we're using these is because these wires are here, so we want to make sure they're up off the wire so we're not rubbing against the wires at all. So we're just making sure we're off the wire, and it gives us a platform to put our guides on, something to drill to and mount it to as well. So that's what we're going to use these for. All right, let's clean this up, put our guides in. Okay, so we're going to open up these guide rails. And we're going to place them on our board in there. Okay, so this is what we're going to do now. Now we have this piece cut out so it slides back and forth pretty easily like this. We're going to push this piece back in to where it sits. We're going to make sure it's flush on both ends so that it's flush right here where it sits. And then we're going to come in here with these boards, and we're going to make sure that they butt up so that it doesn't go no further. And then we're going to screw these boards into the floor, and then we'll attach the rails to these boards. And then we should be able to put our top cover on, and this whole thing will slide in and out smoothly. So that's our next step right now, is to screw those into the floor. We're just using a 1-inch screw to attach all this with. And all we're doing is making sure it's flush and that this board is pushed tight against it so that it doesn't move when we push it in and out. It's got a base support. We're going to put 4 in each board. Make sure it's flush. The board is touching it in the back. And then screw it down. Okay, so now that that's in there, I'm going to make sure that these rails are square and lined up correctly. And then our board comes in right here. It's going to get attached to this bottom trim piece. And then this whole thing will roll in and out off of those rails. And that's what it'll look like. Give me a second here and we'll put this all together. That's what it looks like so far. We made sure that we're not touching any of those electrical wires back there. So that works perfectly. And so when we push in and out, nothing's hitting. And then we have extra room on the side for more storage on both sides. There's room for more storage on both sides. But this is just going to be a drawer that holds some stuff right there that slides in and out. But you can still have more room on the side. You could even put a shelf in. Like I said earlier, you have a lot of room going all the way up. Goes all the way up there. So we might even put a shelf in to give us more room. We'll see. So remember, if you like this kind of content, to please hit that subscribe button so you can subscribe to our channel and not miss out on anything that we do. And hit the thumbs up button. That really helps out the algorithm. And look for us on our socials. We're at Facebook and Instagram at This Is Our Way. So let's attach these guide rails to this bottom plate so that it slides in and out easily. Going to attach the guide rails right now. And all you want to do is make sure that these are straight when you put them in. We're going to get a level and we'll level them off. Make sure they're straight so they don't bind as you're putting them in and out. Let's get a level and screw them down. Okay, we got our level on it and it is straight. We actually measured it out too. We measured 7.5 from the back of the wall to this front rail of the guide. And we measured it all back to make sure that everything was straight in line. And then we also put the level on it as well. So that's how we're going to do that. We're going to screw into it right now. So we're going to get our tape. We're going to measure from the back wall to the rail, 7.5 right there. Again in the center, 7.5, and then at the very back, 7.5. So now we're just going to attach the screws to it to keep it in line. If it looks like it on the camera that it's going one way or the other, it's because this board isn't straight. So it's an illusion. So let's mark it there, and then we will put our screws in it, and then we'll add it to our bottom plate. Okay, so now we have our rail all disassembled so we can put it in. We're going to make sure that we're still at 7.5 on all our spots. Got to come in with just a little bit on this one. Right there. 7.5, 7.5. Alright, so we're going to screw that down right there at 7.5. We'll check it before we put the last screw in to make sure it didn't move. 7.5. We moved in the back a little, so we're going to move it over some. 7.5, 7.5. And then we're going to put this screw in. And we'll check it one more time. So all we're going to do is we're going to do the exact same thing for the other side. Make sure at 7.5. And that these soft gliding rails glide in softly. These are heavy duty soft gliders. So the maximum weight on these are 50 pounds. And see, it just does it all by itself. Rolls out. And rolls in. Soft close. So we're going to do that to this side now. We're going to measure it out, screw it down so that it's in place as well. And then we'll put the top shelf on it and make the box for our drawer. So in order to take these rails apart, there's a little tab on the back. Once you open it up, there's this little black tab right here. You just push up on it and it will slide right out. And that's how you take that apart. We're going to measure from this wall 29.5. 29.5 right there. Put our screw in, hold it down. We're going to measure the back one now to make sure we're at 29.5 again. And we need to come over some to 29.5. That's the back part. We're at 29.5. Perfect. Alright, put this screw in. And then all we got to do now is attach our rails to our top board. Okay, so now we're going to attach our guide rails to our bottom plate. And all we're going to do is line it up. Make sure it's flush on top. And then we're going to put our screw in. Okay, we're flush there, flush there. Now we're going to get our level. Make sure we're leveled. And once we're leveled, we will put our second screw in. That's perfect right there. Put our last screw in. Make sure we're still level. And we are. Okay, so we got those screws all put in. We're going to do the exact same thing to the other side. We'll put our level on it. We'll make sure we're level. We're level. We'll add our screws. One more screw. Continue to make sure we're level. Perfect. Put our last screw in. And then we'll set these inside our rails, making sure that we're connected. Okay, so all we're going to do is we're going to make the box on this frame for our drawer. And we're going to use staples and screws to screw all these pieces in. And so we already cut all these pieces outside for that earlier. All you're going to do is you're going to take this piece, try to get this into position so you guys can see what I'm doing. You're going to get this piece and this piece that we cut earlier. And we're just going to line it up flush at the edge here and flush in the corner. And then we're going to put a staple in it. And then we'll come back and put screws. Okay, so now that we got the back panel on, we're going to put the side piece on. Because it's like your side chick. It's always on the side. So you're going to do the exact same thing here. Is you're going to line it up flush. And then you're just going to shoot it with your staple gun. And you want to make sure that you use glue. I forgot the glue at the store. Sorry about that. But I would normally put glue to make these joints even stronger. I'm sorry about the guy root shooting out there, making all this noise. Got to compete with the root shooters. So now we're going to put the other side on, and that will complete our box. And then we'll add our heater to the front, and we'll attach that with some screws. Okay, again, just make sure that you're flush on all your spots. If you want to make it stronger, add glue and put your nails in. Get the last couple on this corner as well. And then that completes the box. So now you can see we have our basic drawer. And then we will add this back to the rails. Slide this back in. And then we're going to put our fireplace on, our drawer. Make sure we're lined up. Perfect. And then it should just shut. And it's going in good. The only thing is, it's not going to go in all the way right this second. Because, like I said earlier in the video, we need to move the cable right here. And all we're going to do is reposition that cable to the back of the fireplace. And I'll take you along to show you guys how to do that. It's just a couple screws, drill a new hole, and then move the cable around it. And then that will be able to slide in and out. So let's move that cable so that slides in and out, and then we'll attach the fireplace to that drawer. Okay, so now we're going to move this wire. We're going to relocate this wire that sticks out on the side of the furnace right here, and we're going to put it right here. So all we're going to do is we're going to move all these screws that are around this, and we'll open it up, drill a new hole, and put the wire coming out to the backside. So we're going to pull this cover off just to see how it looks, and then we're going to drill a hole, like I said, right here, and then we're just going to relocate that wire to come out right here. Alright, so we're down here. We took the back off of the fireplace. You have two wire nuts that come on this, and that comes straight into the power. So all we're going to do is we're just going to remove those two wire nuts, move this power out, and this whole knockout will come out from that side. So just remove these nuts. And remember, black is hot and white is neutral. It's the same for everything, unless you're doing automotive work. And then your black is a ground. Go figure. Got that one off. And these are the crimps I was saying that was just in there crimped. You just got to just decrimp it, and the wire will just separate. So we're just going to release the black from the black and the white from all these whites. Slide them out. Loosen this ground screw nut so we can move the whole entire cord out. It's got two little tabs you got to push in on, and then the whole wire should pop right through. So it has this little tab right there that you have to press on, and this wire pops through. It's just a rubber grommet so it doesn't right up on the metal and cut and then ground itself out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get a drill bit, exact same size hole as this one right here, and drill it on that back panel. and then we'll attach this wire back in, put everything back together, and then attach this to our new drawer, and then I'll show it to you in action. Okay, so we marked our hole, and now we're just going to put our drill. It's easy to go, it's just tin. So went straight through the hole. Now we can relocate that wire. We'll put the wire all back together, tighten this all back up, clamp this down to our new drawer that we put in there. Now that we drilled the hole through this back of this plate, we're going to install the wire. And that's as easy as just pushing them through. Make sure that this grommet gets seated in here perfectly so that you don't have no issues with the wire getting cut. You're just going to push it all the way through and top pops in. Once you pop it in like that, you have it all popped in. It's nice and tight. That looks good. We're going to come around to this side, and then we're going to hook the wires all back up, and we're going to put new connectors on them. I like using the Wagos. They're not a sponsor, but I really like using Wagos when it's electrical work. I only use these right now for like general lighting, so like 15 amp circuits. I don't know. I haven't done any testing to see if it would hold up on a 20 amp circuit or higher, or if they melt. If you would like to see a video on something like that, leave a comment down below and I'll see if I can do a video on what works better, regular wire nuts or Wagos. We're going to rehook up this ground wire, the grounding tag on it, and then put the nut. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our black wire. We're going to twist it so that it's nice and taut, or tight, however you want to say the word. We're going to do that to both wires, so that none of the braid wires just strangly everywhere. Just want to twist it. Then after we do that, we're going to add it to our connector. Make sure it goes all the way in, and then click the button. And then we put it on this one as well. Make sure it's all the way in, and hit the little lever. Then we're going to open up the Wago on this one. We're going to put the first one in its slot, which is the main neutral, and then the second one. Another good thing about the Wagos is it doesn't matter what size the wire is. This is like 18 gauge wire right here, so it's really thin. So that's why they're pretty cool too, because you can just use them for all the sized wires. That one's in. That one's in. Alright, so when we got all that hooked up, we're going to put all these screws back on the outside here, and then we'll plug it in to make sure everything works, and then we'll attach it to our drawer. Okay, as you can see, everything is working on it now. We'll put the heat on, make sure the heater works. Heater works, turn the heater off. Work on our knob here. We're just going to drill it out all the way through so we can put the screw in from this side, the knob all the way through, and then we're just going to countersink it a little, just so you can see. Just about that much. Alright, so now we're going to attach our knob right here in the center. We put that hole in, we put our screw in, and we attached our knob. And now you can see we have a good pull handle to grab our drawer that we made, so it slides in and out. What we're going to do now is we're going to install some L brackets to help hold the fireplace to our platform and drawer that we just made. These are the L brackets right here. We're going to install each one just on the corners of them. We're going to be installing it with this Klein. We're using this Klein multi-driver, which is really amazing. I really like this tool. I'm going to focus for you. There you go. I really like this tool. It's the Klein drivers. Comes handy. Has all the little sizes. Okay, so here's the fireplace installed with all the components all put back together. It's what it looks like. It came out really nice. You can't even tell. Everything looks exactly the same. The reason why we use the soft close latches is so like when we're traveling it doesn't just slide out on its own. So it has a little force to keep it in there. That's why I was using the soft close on these. Or you could just use regular ones if you don't want to use soft close, but then you have to buy like a latch or some way to secure it in there nice and tightly. But we'll pull it out. You can see we're already utilizing the space here. We have everything in there, lots of room. You still have room on the sides to go. So if you like this kind of content, please remember to like and subscribe. Leave comments down below if you want to see more videos like this. Extra space out of your fireplace. Again, this is just hidden free storage that's just back here that manufacturers just hide with Fireplace. So if you have a fireplace in your RV, most likely you can make extra storage space like this. Again, this wasn't a hard project to do. Just a couple of sliders, some wood, and some L brackets and some screws. And now we got a usable sliding fireplace in and out with extra storage. Thank you for joining me on this little tutorial on how to get more space out of your fireplace and install like a little drawer so you can utilize the space behind the fireplace. If you like what you see here, please like and subscribe to our channel. And also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at This Is Our Way TRW. And until next time, thanks for watching.